Hello and welcome to another Stamp with Amy K YouTube Live, and I'm hoping that I actually stay live this time. I was just out here trying this, and for whatever reason, it stopped again. So, goodness, I don't know for sure what's going on, but it's a little crazy. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but something has changed with the way YouTube is working, and I haven't quite figured it out yet for me. So, but it looks like I'm live. I'm assuming that I am. I'm hoping that y'all will find me. If you are here, feel free to say hello and let me know that you are joining live. And I think we'll just go ahead and we'll make a card. And I'll assume that y'all are going to be out here. Like I said, hopefully I'll have some people joining live so I will know that I'm actually live and here in the right spot, because I don't know what's going on with YouTube and I, but we're not friends right now. So, oh, yay. Okay, Debbie's here. So I am so glad to see that somebody else is on and that this, in fact, is live, because I just tried a minute ago and it wouldn't let me go live. So craziness. Anyway. All right. Hey, Ann, yay, you can hear and see me. I'm so happy about that. So, like I said, YouTube, they've done some updates to their app, and for whatever reason, apparently they must have changed a few things around, and have to go live a little differently, but it's all good. I think I've finally got it figured out. So, all right. Let's get going on the card in hopes that I don't lose video sync. So, okay, so this is the card that we are going to be making today, and I was playing with the Curvy Christmas stamp set and the Curvy dies that are going to be available starting next week, Tuesday, on November 3rd. So anyway, like I said, it's a fun little set, cute for Christmas. I love the designer paper that coordinates with it. So let me set that aside, and we'll talk for a minute about the stamp set. So this is the set. It's called Curvy Christmas, and it coordinates with the Curvy dies. This is a photopolymer stamp set, and you'll see in a second why that comes in really handy with the Curvy dies as we're stamping along. And then these are the Curvy dies, and they actually coordinate and are bundled together with the Quite Curvy stamp set. Again, starting on Tuesday, November 3rd, you'll be able to start purchasing these. So it's a really cute little die set, and coordinates, again, the curves coordinate with the images here in your stamp set. And the dies in here coordinate with some of the images from the Quite Curvy stamp set. So definitely a good set of dies, and a great little Christmas bundle. A couple things to know before we get going on these bundles and the new products that are coming. Again, these are going to be available on November 3rd through January 4th. And the Quite Curvy bundle, which has got the die set that I just showed you and the stamp set that coordinates with it, this bundle will actually be in the upcoming January to June 2021 mini catalog. So this item is actually going to be carrying over. You'll be able to purchase it in the future if you decide you don't want it right at the very moment. However, the really cute coordinating Curvy Christmas stamp set and the classic Christmas 6x6 DSP will not be carrying forward. So these two items, actually, if you want to get them, you need to purchase them between November 3rd and January 4th. After that, they will no longer be available. One thing Stampin' Up! Has done that's really awesome is they have put this together all in a big bundle, and it's 10% off everything. So if you purchase the stamp set, dies, Christmas stamp set, and designer series paper, they're going to give you 10% off on it. Plus, we have a little bonus coming up. I've got a little something I'll be announcing next week with regard to that. So just keep an eye on my blog for a little update on some good stuff that I have coming with that. So next thing I wanted to remind you about, since this ends tomorrow, which is Saturday, Halloween, October 31st, is the Designer Series paper sale. Stampin' Up! Has 15 packs of Designer Series paper that they've got on sale for 15% off during the month of October, which is ending tomorrow. So make sure you get on it and get these ordered. They are, like I said, some good ones, some holiday papers, some regular catalog papers, so lots and lots of good ones out there. And definitely, yeah, you should take advantage of it if you haven't ordered anything from that sale yet. So, okay, so let us get going on the actual card. I have started with the Cherry Cobbler card base, and then this is the piece of the, what's the name of it? Classic Christmas 6x6 Designer Series paper that I have cut down to the size of the card front. This is a standard size card, which is A2, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So the piece of Designer Series paper that I'm going to be adhering on to the card front is 4 1/4 by 5.5. So just, it covers the entire front of the card. And I usually tend to use the liquid glue when I'm adhering on panels like that to the card front where I need just a little extra wiggle room to make sure that I've got everything on here straight. And yep, looks like we're all good. So just need to make sure that I can get everything adhered down straight with the liquid glue. So that's why I like using it for that type of a project. The next thing, this is also some of the quite curvy, or I'm sorry, the Classic Christmas, not quite curvy. So Classic Christmas Designer Series paper. This is just a little leftover piece of it. You are going to note that what I have done on all of the pieces that I'm going to be stamping on, as well as die cutting with these curvy dies, I've made them a little bit bigger than what they need to be, because when I'm using this die set, one thing that is a lot easier to me is to have things bigger, and then I can trim them down to fit, rather than trying to cut a smaller piece of cardstock, and then you have to get it placed on exactly, otherwise it doesn't work, and then you're unhappy, and nobody wants that. So what I have discovered with the die set is if I make the pieces of paper just a little bit bigger to start with, then all is good, and it works really well. So Karen says she had to go back to the link with the blog in order to be able to see you, could only hear. Okay, I don't know what is going on. Like I said, YouTube is just, I don't know what's changed. They did some updates to the app, and definitely it's not changed to help me any. So, all right. So I've got a piece of Just Jade design, or cardstock that is cut to, I think I did this one to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Yep. So this is full card front size. So again, like I said, to me, it's easier to have it be a little bit bigger. Then I can always just trim things down rather than, trying to piece things together later. And I've got the die here. Whoops, I got it the wrong way around. So this edge is the cutting edge, and then we've got the little polka dots underneath it. And for this die cut, I actually want to have the polka dots up towards the top because it fits better with the little tree line die that I'm going to be stamping on here. So when I'm die cutting this, again, I just want to make sure that I've got my tree line and I know basically where that is going to go on here. And I want to make sure that the trees are fairly upright. You don't want them leaning all kinds of crazy. So I know kind of where that should be on here. And this is about where I need the die to be on my piece of Designer Series paper. And I'm just going to run it through the die cutting machine right here like this. So, hey, Karen, I see you're back. Okay, you had trouble too. I don't know what is going on. And like I said, I don't know what the craziness, that is all I can say. So, hi, Barbara and Linda. Thanks for hopping on. I'm glad everybody was able to find me. And Beth and Kathy. So thanks so much for joining today. All right, just doing a little die cutting here off to the side so that I don't wiggle the table too much when I'm doing the die cutting. All right, so I have got my piece of designer paper die cut here. And again, when I'm doing this, I want to make sure that my tree line is going to line up pretty well with my Designer Series paper. And I want it up probably a little bit closer to the top. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to get shaded spruce ink. And again, this is the image from the Curvy Christmas stamp set. And we're just going to ink up the image fully. And hopefully, yep, there you go, I think. And then I'm going to take this and kind of generally place it where I want it to be. It's going to obviously be a little higher because I'm stamping it just above the Designer Series paper because I don't want to stamp the tree images on the Designer Series paper. I want it to be just above it. So I'm doing this right up above. So, oh, good. I'm glad you're here, Susan. Thanks for joining. So, and the first time to watch me live, and of course I'm fumbling around as you're watching me live and you're thinking, what in the world? So, all right, so I've got that stamped on here. And as you can see, my die cut basically follows right along with it. And I'm going to adhere these two pieces together. This one could be a little bit short if I need it to be, which I don't know for sure because I need to trim quite a bit off the bottom of here. But this one could be a little short because I'm going to be covering it with another piece of cardstock. So basically, I can go ahead and adhere these two pieces together. I'm going to have this placed on here. And zoop, and then I'm going to run a little bit in the middle here as well, just because we're going to be trimming this panel down, and I want to make sure it stays stuck to where I want it to on the cardstock. Got the pieces here. All right. So I've got that adhered together. The next thing I'm going to do is I have got a piece of Sahara Sand cardstock that I'm going to be placing here over the top. And I'm going to take my little die here, and because I want the polka dots to show on this one, and I'm going to sort of have it run downhill, if that makes sense, on the card front. I want it to be on here sort of like this. So I'm going to take it and sort of, again, get my placement on actually, you know what? I should probably stamp this one first. So I was going to not do it, and I was thinking I could wait, and of course, my Versamark ink. Hold on. Like I said, I guess it's a Friday. I forgot my Versamark ink as I was getting things ready to go. So we're going to do a little heat embossing on here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment on it. And the sentiment is curved sort of to match the die cut. And I think we'll go ahead and put that on here like this. And got some white Stampin' embossing powder over here. We're going to do a little sprinkling. Hi, Myrtle. Glad you're here as well. And Catherine is here as well. I appreciate you being here. Thanks so much. Glad that you're enjoying my cards. And like I said today, I don't know, I'm a little flustered. Had a little trouble getting on to YouTube Live, and then all of a sudden, you know, here I am, and I'm sort of, like I said, a little flustered. I guess it's Friday, so we will call it all good. Speaking of Friday, next week Friday, I actually will not be doing a live. We have our demonstrator event. The onstage at home event is going to be happening next week Friday, so I will not be going live because I'll be attending that event instead. So I'll be getting to check out some peeks of the new catalog, and can't wait to share all that with you, of course. But so I will be doing that on Friday instead of hanging out here doing a video. All right, so again, I've got Sahara Sand cardstock, and I cut it to about 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so it's a full card front size. Then I'm definitely going to be trimming it down a little bit. And I've got my heat tool on here, and I put it on the level 2 setting on the heat tool, so that will heat emboss it. And just going to emboss it or heat it until I see that the embossing powder is turning kind of a bright white. All right, a little bit more there. I think we are good. All right, now I'm going to take this and place it again back on my card front. Being careful not to touch anything. Hopefully I haven't, you know, so I don't smudge it. And then I'm going to take my die cut, and I'm going to place it here on, yep, I've got the cutting edge to the top. I'm going to place it here over the top of the card. And just going to follow it right along here and make sure that I'm cutting it in a spot where I want it to be. It looks like everything is going to be lined up with the rest of the card. So I'm going to go ahead and run this through my die cutting machine. Hopefully y'all are enjoying your weekend, well, almost weekend. We had, at least at our house, I don't know about you guys that are a little bit south of me, but we had a very, very little bit of that white stuff floating in the air today here. This morning it was a little, I'm not quite ready for snow. And it was, you know, nothing that stuck around or anything, but definitely there were some snow on the ground, or snow in the air here as it was floating around, which, like I said, I was not terribly excited to see that this early in the year. I feel like it's a little early for snow, but maybe I'm wrong. I've only lived in New Jersey for a short time, so maybe this is more normal than I think, but goodness, I looked at it and I'm like, oh, it's too early for snow. So, and I've got some of the little polka dots from the previous die cut I did that are stuck on the back of my cardstock here. So, all right, I'm going to take a little bit of the Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to adhere this to the card front as well. This time I'm going to make sure I get up closer along the edge here, because I know that that is going to be tucked up in the corner, on my card front. All right, so we're going to go ahead and adhere the layers together like this. And then the last thing that I'm going to do here to get the card front ready is I'm actually going to trim off some of the extra. So the end result I want to be, and hopefully I can do the math correctly, the end result I want to be about, yeah, let's say I was going to say I want it to be, of course, now my 3 5/8 by 4 7/8 is what I want my final result to be here. So I'm just going to trim off a little bit of the edge here, make sure I've got one straight edge to start with. And then I'm going to trim this one down a little bit. And I may need to trim a little bit more from the top here. Make sure I'm not going too far. Let's go with this one to begin with. Hopefully. All right. And then we're going to trim this one to my 4 7/8. And this one I will see if I need to trim it just a hair more. 3 5/8. Nope, I think we're exactly right on the 3 5/8 inch mark. So hopefully I've done the math correctly. If not, I will trim down my mat as I need to. But that is how I found it to be easiest to do, is to actually go ahead and put all the layers together and then trim off the excess, rather than trying to trim the pieces down smaller and then trying to work it around and make things fit after the fact. So hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully I didn't fumble through too much of that and you were able to pretty well follow along. All right, so I've got cherry cobbler here, and I'm just going to stamp a little bow, and I can see already one thing that I have noticed with these curvy cards is that each one sort of ends up just a little bit different, because it's really hard to get everything lined up precisely the same when you're doing this, unless you're doing them all at the same time and kind of can cut more than one thing at a time. But I think they all turn out just fine. So like I said, just a little different layering on it, that's all. I've got just jade ink here, and I'm going to be stamping the little snowflake across the back. So Ann says in Connecticut, actually, oh, it's just the 5th time in 100 years that you've got that much snow. Yikes. So, goodness. Yeah, I'm not quite ready for significant snowfall. Like I said, to see a few flurries, I was a little alarmed earlier today, but goodness, that's, yeah. No, not ready for significant snowfall yet. It's too early. I need to at least get through Halloween. So, all right. I think I may do one more down in here, and we'll call that good for the snowflakes for the background. All right. A foot of snow. Eek, yikes, yikes. So, all right. And I think hopefully I did this all correctly, which it looks like I did. So, phew, that's always like the last, did I cut it correctly? So I do have a piece of shaded spruce cardstock that I've got cut to 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And we're just going to adhere the two pieces together, and then we'll adhere it to the card front. And then hopefully most of my fumbling through this will be done. I've got some Stampin' dimensionals that I'm going to adhere this onto the card front with. Hi, Britt. Glad you're joining from Sweden. So hopefully you're having, I don't have any idea what time it is where you are. Hopefully it's not too late or too early in the morning. So, all right. Oh, you're not getting a foot right now. Okay, I thought you said, I don't know. I quickly glanced and I thought, oh my gosh, a foot of snow, that's a lot. But okay, you're just saying that you've had it. So, hey, Susan, glad that you're joining and catching live from California as well. So glad you're here. And where in New Jersey do I live? I am in a very, very small town called Mendham, which is not too far from Morristown, if you know where that is. So, I don't know, in relation to other things, I should probably know better where I am. We're about an hour straight west of New York City, if that helps you at all. So that's sort of where I am. It's like rural here, so kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So, all right, last thing I'm going to add to the card front is I've got one of the little holiday rhinestone basic jewels, and it's a cherry cobbler jewel, and I'm just going to add that next to the sentiment on the card front, and that's all for the card front. On the inside of the card, I kept it pretty simple with just some basic stamping in just jade ink. And again, it's a sentiment from the Curvy Christmas stamp set. All right, and then I've got a little piece of the Classic Christmas Designer Series paper, and I'm just going to adhere that to the bottom of the Whisper White panel. This is about 5/8 of an inch wide, and again, it's cut to the 6-inch length. I I intentionally left it a little bit long so I would have a lever to do just what I did there, where I accidentally stuck it on crooked and then was able to quickly pick it up and take it off because I had a little extra wiggle room in it. And then I just trim it down with my snips so that it's even with the edge. And then we will adhere it to the inside of the card base and we will be all done. So I don't know if anybody has any big plans for Halloween. We're going to do some sort of very small trick-or-treating here with the kids. My young one loves Halloween, so she is pretty excited to go trick-or-treating. And so we've got a couple kids that we're going to go from her class that we're going to go out with, and all masked up and ready to go. So, all right, well, thank you so much. You have to keep watching videos because the set is a learning curve for you, but you like it. It is a good set. Like I said, for me, the biggest key to using it is just making sure that you cut everything oversized, because then you can do what I just did, which is trim it down to fit where you need it to go. Because if you try to start too small of a piece of paper, then once you've cut it with the dies, you're sort of stuck and can't really get things to fit together like I feel like they should. So to me, that was easiest, is, you know, just going ahead and oversizing it and trimming it down. That works best. So that is my advice on it, but it's a really cool set, and I love the Christmas images. I love the Christmas paper. So definitely make sure that you are getting this order early in the Christmas season, and just so that you can get some cards made with it and get them sent out. So thanks so much for joining today. Hope that you enjoyed the video, and hope that you learned a little bit, and maybe a few things not to do, like don't forget your ink and all that sort of thing. So I appreciate y'all being here. I will plan to be back on my Facebook channel live at around 2 o'clock Eastern time on Tuesday, and then I will plan to be back here live. Actually, it won't be next Friday. It'll be the following Friday. I'll be back out on YouTube live. So let me know if you have any questions. I will be posting all the details about this card on my blog tomorrow, and I'll link it up in the video so you can take a peek whenever you have a minute. And if you have any questions about it, just let me know. Thanks for joining today, and